Okay, so back at the pool again, asking again, what are we doing? Alright, before I forget, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like, share, and thank you very much to the guys who joined on Patreon as well. There's a few little inside videos go up there for those guys, and open to any requests again on there for any sort of race analysis as well. So if you're interested in joining on Patreon, head on over. I'll put the links down below. Alright, thank you very much. So what are we doing? It's Thursday now, halfway through another training week. Our week starts on a Tuesday, just because trial starts on a Tuesday. So I don't like to have half weeks at the end of cycles. So we start our training week on a Tuesday, and we work our way through. This week we're 4 weeks out from trials. We've got this week of work, then a little adaptation week, and 2 weeks of race prep. And we'll see how we get on from there. Yeah, so should be good. So in the pool today we have anaerobic capacity as our main set, but because it's a Thursday and for the last 8 weeks in the trials, what we've been doing on Thursdays is a little descending set of 50s on number 1, and we descend from PB plus 15 down to PB plus 1 or better on the last one. And the aim is to hold our stroke rate for as long as is humanly possible. And then through the week what we do is we use that golf score to design a set of 650s on 90 that they have to hold the most efficient score they can hold. The belief that I have is that if we can make them as efficient as possible, help them improve their efficiency, then the benefit we get from that, coupled with the increased capacities and the increased power from training, as well as a little bit of rest, gives them the opportunity to produce their best performance at the time it matters on the 20th of April. So this is the little graph that we generate from the efficiency test. As you can see, we plot time over stroke count, and it helps us give them an idea of how efficient they're being. So we look for an improved power score, which is their average, and an improved best score. You can see from these 3 little graphs the progression over time for 3 weeks at the start of this has worked quite well, much more efficient. So yeah, the way we structure our season is very, very simple. I'm not smart enough to do it any other way. So before Christmas we spend a lot of time building capacities, aerobic capacity and anaerobic capacity. And then after Christmas we transition across into developing power. And the way we do that is with a progression of sets, really anaerobic sets that are focused around lactate production and then lactate tolerance. The way we do it is we start with 1250s on 2.5 minutes, all best effort, and we gradually transition that through to 6.1s on 4. And everything is fast, everything is aggressive on those sets. We tend to have 3 power sets in the week. We still put in some anaerobic capacity every week, and obviously we have a lot of aerobic capacity work, a lot of it around maintaining the aerobic capacities that we built up till Christmas. And what we do after Christmas is 1 anaerobic capacity set, 1 aerobic capacity set a week that are designed to develop a little bit. So I don't know whether that makes sense to anybody or not, but that's sort of the way we do it. I don't schedule in any regen weeks, so it's safe to say they're ready for a rest. They got 4 more days, and then we'll rest them hard. I think I'm probably in a minority when we don't schedule that regen week at all. What we do is we try to give regen sessions when the athlete needs them, so we track everything, and I make sure that we don't get them in a point where they're overly burning out. I don't want them to burn out. I want them to be fatigued, and I want them to be tired. I want them to be in a pretty wrecked state, so that we can, when we rest, get as much compensation as possible, and we get as much of a rebound as possible. So no regen weeks, but plenty of regen sessions. We don't call them that, we call them aerobic maintenance, but that's what they are. They're regen sessions, lots of drill work, lots of skill work, scheduled every week, because we're in a skills heavy sport that needs a high focus on technical ability, and I believe that we get enough recovery work by doing those sessions. I guess the proof will be in the pudding in 4 weeks' time. Of course, the other side of our sport is the important side, really. We've been in a very fortunate position where our elite athletes have been allowed to train most of the way through the last 8 months, really since the end of June, and to put themselves in a position where they're able to try to qualify for Olympics and Europeans. But there is, of course, the vast majority of this sport, the vast majority of the people who are involved in this sport. That's where Team Larne is of greatest concern to me. Obviously, that's the club that I work in, it's the club that I coach. And they haven't been in the water really for a year now. And it's frustrating, because the reality is that by and large, swimming pools are safe. The transition between outside to inside is the risk points. Once they're in the building and once they're in the pool, it's safe, you know, or as safe as is reasonably possible. But we're starting to get light at the end of the tunnel, and we're starting to see a little bit of a shift towards a resumption of sporting activities. Again, the frustrating thing is that swimming is being lumped together with indoor sports, which is fine, because we're definitely not an outdoor sport, but we're also, I think, a third grouping. We're an aquatic sport. We're not like table tennis or squash or badminton or boxing. We're not a close contact sport, and we swim in water, we swim in bleach, basically, you know. And I think that our governing bodies are missing a trick by not pushing for that, not pushing for a third tier, a third grouping of sporting activities. It's frustrating, but I mean, obviously I'm not involved in those negotiations and those discussions, but from the outside looking in, it is very frustrating that swimming and water polo and synchro are all being grouped together with boxing and taekwondo and those things, and we are fundamentally different. But like I said, my hope is that we will start to see some sort of resumption of club activity sometime this side of summer, I hope. I'm really hopeful for sometime early May, and I really can't wait to see the club back in full swing again, because everybody misses it. You know, it's okay for the elite athletes to be in here in small groups. There's 3 in the water this morning, but we all need our teammates around us to make our life just a little bit more bearable and to take the pressure off on occasion. So if anybody out there is listening, aquatic sports need to be treated differently. Aquatic sports are different. Anyway, that's all I'm really prepared to say on the subject of coronavirus, because it's depressing. Anyway, thank you once again for taking the time to get through this video, and thank you to everybody who's subscribed. Thank you everybody who's watching. The last video had 2,000 views on it. That's a bit mad. So thank you very much. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like and follow and share and all those other cool things. And well, yeah, don't forget. All right, spread the word. If anybody out there wants to join the Discord, it's free. We have a bit of a conversation around swimming in there. Feel free to join that too. I'll put all those links down below. Thank you again.